note segment, and we're looking at improving everything around legal framework ahead of this year's law conference, an event that is held annually, bringing together the finest minds in law to be able to think and map ways forward. I'll introduce my guest, the president of the Uganda Law Society, Oundo.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
A very good morning.
Thank you, Chris, and good morning, viewers.
Yes, I'll go straight into the annual law conference, not straight, but shortly. I first want to understand, especially for my lay people out there, the Uganda Law Society has been around for a while. Many of us might not understand its mandate or even its workings. Just give us a brief.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. The Uganda Law Society has now existed for about 66 years. That is how long we have been here.
Wow.
And we are currently about 4,500 lawyers. It is the society that brings together all lawyers in the country, and we are established by an act of parliament, which is the Uganda Law Society Act, with a specific mandate. One of the mandates is really to advise government on matters to do with the rule of law. The other is to assist our members in terms of building their professional capacity.
That's right.
Third is we also exist to provide access to justice through our programs, which include legal aid and pro bono. So we have a week, in fact, the week starting from 27th to 1st September, we'll be doing what we call legal aid. Okay. And when Uganda Law Society does legal aid, it means its members come together to provide legal services for free. So we do that as part of our mandate of Uganda Law Society. So we'll be looking towards that week where we'll be focusing especially on how to draft wills, a very critical element of the
that's
society.
Pretty important.
Yeah.
We shall come to that.
Yes.
Let's first get to know exactly what the impetus of this year's law conference is, especially in light of what is going on in terms of the state of the rule of law in the country. So
the Uganda Law Society hosts what we call the annual law conference. This will be the 7th annual law conference for the Uganda Law Society. This is the conference that gathers lawyers. This year, because of the evolving landscape, and we are talking about technology, our theme is redefining legal practice in the era of disruption. We are talking about technology, but we're also talking about the challenges facing the legal landscape. And when I speak about challenges, I just want to give you an example. Currently, the Law Development Center releases about 1,000 students annually.
Wow.
1,000 students annually. It means in the last 2-3 years, they have released about 2,000, 3,000 lawyers. We are currently 4,500 lawyers. So it means that in the next 1 or 2 years, our number is going to double. What does that mean for the legal sector? It means that we need to look at new opportunities, because as these lawyers are coming in, we need to refocus our practice. And therefore, the theme this year will just not focus on technology. We're also taking a client-centric objective to listen to our clients, as opposed to the past conferences where we have been speaking to each other. Okay. Now we want to listen to our clients. What are the opportunities are you seeing? What are the challenges are you seeing? What skills do you think that your lawyers should have in order for them to provide an adequate and efficient legal service to you?
Wow.
So that is going to be the focus of this year's conference. Yes.
Won't that alter the long-standing reputation that lawyers are learned, and perhaps anybody to come in and tell them exactly how they should be doing this?
Yes, Chris, but you see, we deliver services to a client.
To a client, yeah.
Yes, yes, we don't hire each other. We deliver services to a client.
That's right.
So if you deliver services to a client, it's very important for you to listen to the client, because the client could possibly tell you, you know, what is happening currently is that I want my lawyer to be able to understand technology, because we are in the era of disruption. I want him to be able to understand artificial intelligence. because we're in the era of disruption, you know. So listening to some of these things from our clients will help us be able to upskill so that we're able to provide a relevant service to our clients.
Allow me delve,
Yes.
or rather dwell,
Yes.
on the aspect of disruption in light of AI. Across the world, we've seen attempts by technology firms to be able to afford clients lawyers that are robots. And that one is one disruption to talk about. I do not know whether we are anywhere near entering a courtroom in Uganda and instead of seeing a counsel, Bernard Oundo, you are greeted with a robot and the vocal cords come out as a machine. Is that even possible here?
No, of course technology takes different forms. There is artificial intelligence.
That's
I'm
right.
sure you've also heard of ChatGPT, which is able to provide a legal opinion to a client without necessarily meeting the lawyer.
That's right.
But what is happening across the legal, or you could say the justice, law and order sector, is that there is a quick process to adopt technology. For instance, the courts are adopting what we call the electronic court case management system. You know, those days we would have to carry files and then go to court and then be able to register them and file them. Now everything is done on a computer. So you scan and the system will be able to validate and all these things. So that is what is happening currently. But the challenge of technology is a challenge that we must take head on.
That's right.
Yeah, COVID taught us, if you had any doubts on the role of technology, COVID has now taught you the importance of technology.
Every industry was disrupted.
Yes.
Okay, you've talked about the people who will be attending away from the lawyers.
Yes.
You said you're now going to co-opt clients into this. Is there a specific threshold, registration, that they should go through ahead of the conference?
Yes, and we are sharing our flyers on different WhatsApp groups. We are talking to several people, different professional groups. There will be different sessions. I mean, we have invited people from National Planning Authority, for instance, to tell us, what does the economy look like? What are these areas that you're focusing on in terms of NDP3 and all these things? We're also looking at inviting people from the manufacturing, agribusiness sector. We have also invited people from the aviation sector. We're talking about, you know, to see that all our sessions are going to be client-led, so that at the end of the day, a lawyer or a member or any other member of the public who attends is able to understand what is coming through. But also more important, let me give you another example. Intellectual property. We've had the musicians saying the copyright law is not sufficient.
Yep, very controversial.
And we have now developed a special session to deal with the Copyright and Neighboring Act. Is it sufficient for musicians? And we have invited the musicians to come and listen.
That's right.
So Uganda Law Society should not only be seen to promote rule of law, we also must provide legal solutions to the challenges we face.
Talking about promoting the rule of law, there have been incidents where government actions or precedents have been set and the opinion of the Uganda Law Society registered. However, nothing has been seen to be done in light of your opinion, and many have begun to wonder, could the Uganda Law Society be a barking dog?
Very good question. Chris, any society, any country, any institution that prides itself in the rule of law,
that's right,
will take the opinion of Uganda Law Society seriously. So that's a question I would pose to the people that listen to the Uganda Law Society. That said, however, even as we provide, and we are called in different forums to provide legal advice, whether it's Parliament of Uganda, there is no law that comes to the floor of Parliament of Uganda without the Uganda Law Society providing an input. And I think from that basis you can see that we are taken seriously. Where we hold strong views on application of the law, we do what we call strategic litigation. So you've seen us going to court on computer misuse, you've seen us going to court on court martial, ABCD. We have gone to court on several strategic issues that are fundamental for rule of law.
That's right.
So we take a two-pronged approach. We advise, and also number two, we actually take strategic litigation initiatives.
Okay. Take us through what current interventions are in place, especially with regard to a long-standing challenge within the prison service, overcrowding and congestion. Have you spoken to Dr. Bebashaija?
Yes.
How far are we on that?
I think overcrowding in the prisons is a very serious issue that needs to be dealt with. I think our prison capacity is about 20,000. That's
Across
the prison.
country.
That is the prison capacity. But the number of people today in the prisons are 74,000. So if you just calculated that, it means that you have a 374% increase in terms of the prison capacity. It means that all stakeholders, we need to get together, and we are working with UNODC, United Nations Office on Drugs. You know, we're also working with the judiciary. We are working with DPP. All the stakeholders have taken different initiatives. That's right. You can see the judiciary is doing what we call plea bargaining with the DPP to help reduce. But it also means that you don't have to charge every offense. And when I was looking at the numbers, it looks like about 30,000 are petty offenders. Petty offenders. Petty offenders. Right, yeah. Petty offenders. Hawkers. Somebody caught the wrong place at the wrong time. At the wrong time, and then therefore you take him to prison. So it is an initiative that requires all of us to work together to provide a long-sustaining strategy. Okay. Yes. All right. We shall be looking forward to the deliberations at the Law Conference. I don't know how the last conference resolutions pour into this one, and whether there will be some kind of you will be able to look at what has been achieved in light of what was discussed the other year. We could be going into the next conference without registering success on the aspects that were resolved or put forward in the last. How far? Is there anything you can share on that? Yeah, so usually the annual law conference discusses a number of topics. When you attend, you benefit in terms of knowledge, and therefore the benefit is just not to the law societies, for the members of the law society that attend that conference. For instance, last year, one of the focuses was, one of the sessions was arbitration. And you have seen a move led by the judiciary, and we're supporting that move to look at alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. So you can see that some of the deliberations of this conference actually, you know, help us have a plan of action on how to support the other initiatives within the justice, law and order sector. Okay, very quickly, where is the conference and exact date? Just repeat that for us. Yes, the conference will be on 24th and 25th, which is Thursday and Friday next week, and it will be held at the Speak Resort. Speak Resort. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Your Excellency, Bernard Oundo, President of the Uganda Law Society, for the perspective, and of course keeping us updated on the upcoming annual law conference. Now let me switch to my man, Stephen Mbide, who is